Well, the weather is going to turn us on our head a little bit here coming up because we have some big changes coming our way. So we are looking at spring-like temperatures today. We'll have spring-like temperatures tomorrow, and then by Saturday into Sunday, winter's making its way back to the Beehive
come on
State.
back.
You know, just in time for us to start meteorological spring, which begins tomorrow. So let's go ahead and take a live look outside. That's the current view from Utah State University in Logan at 7th North, and it's a quiet evening so far up in Cache Valley, but it's pretty mild. Right now we're sitting at 50 degrees while we're at 55 degrees in Ogden, 46 degrees in the Wasatch back in Heber, 36 in Moab is actually one of the cooler spots, but that's just because the desert cools off quicker, while St. George, you're currently sitting at 56. Meanwhile, in northern Utah, we are seeing a few returns on the forewarned radar, but as we saw in Logan, some of that isn't reaching the ground. We still have a decent amount of dry air at the surface, so it might take a little while for this moisture to overcome. But as we look at the bigger picture of things, there's a weak front currently moving in from the west, and as we move into our Friday, this front will help be the emphasis for showers along and north of the I-80 corridor. But what we're watching is the storm system that you see off the Pacific Northwest by Saturday into Sunday. That's the storm system that's going to bring the big changes across the state. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But let's talk about what you can expect tonight and what you can expect tomorrow. So as mentioned in northern Utah, it's going to feel like spring again, but we will be having that chance for showers mainly along and north of the I-80 corridor, even though we could see a few showers as far south as Utah County. Daytime highs will be similar, if not a little bit warmer compared to what we saw today. And outside of any wet weather, it's going to be partly to mostly cloudy. And I also should mention that with above average temperatures, we'll mainly see valley rain and mountain snow. Even Park City could check in with rain before seeing some snow with the daytime high climbing into the low and mid 40s in Park City, while we could see upper 40s in Heber. In central Utah, we'll see daytime highs predominantly in the 50s as Green River gets to 65. And those hazy icons that you see aren't because we're going to see any haze. It's likely going to be because we're going to get patchy blowing dust because our winds will be increasing in southern Utah. Daytime highs will mainly be in the 50s and 60s, with only a few spots like Bryce Canyon and other spots in the high country seeing daytime highs in the 40s. Let's begin the Futurecast, and we'll start this at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And you can see that chance for showers mainly north of I-80, and that chance kind of ramps up as we move into the afternoon with mainly valley rain and mountain snow, and winds will be increasing out of the southwest. Those winds will only increase as we go through the day tomorrow, with those winds likely peaking as we get into Saturday morning with that next front on the way. Ahead of the front, mainly valley rain and mountain snow, but the showers will spread across the state, and once the cold front moves through your neighborhood, you'll notice it. Along the Wasatch Front, we'll likely see it move through at some point during the afternoon. Most recent forecast models are trending a little bit quicker, so this shows at 5 o'clock we could be looking at straight snow in both Salt Lake and Utah counties, with more of that wet weather finding its way into the southern portion of the state. And even after that cold front moves through, we're going to be looking at scattered snow showers mainly by the time we make our way into our Sunday. Winter storm watches, winter storm warnings posted for a good chunk of the Beehive State, including along the entirety of the Wasatch Front. The winter storm watches begin on Saturday. The winter storm warning for the mountains north of I-80 begins tonight, but by the time we get through Sunday, we could see more than several inches in some valleys, 6 inches plus for our mountain valleys, and maybe 10 inches plus for most mountains. And here's what it looks like on the snow potential map, where you can see our northern valleys 2 to 6, isolated up to 8, a little bit more for the benches, while our central and southern valleys could see 1 to 4, rain for St. George, while mountain valleys could see 4 to 10 and 10 to 24 inches for most mountains, with locally upwards of 30 inches plus for a few. And it will be windy, with Saturday morning likely being the windiest. We do have high wind watches, warnings in place, with most of those beginning on Saturday, continuing through Saturday night. In St. George, going to be a windy day tomorrow, and then over the weekend we'll be looking at a chance of rain showers with daytime highs easing back down to the 50s. Then daytime highs level out in the 50s through next week as we look at slightly calmer conditions through the first half of next week. Along the Wasatch Front, could see some rain tomorrow, then rain becomes snow throughout the day on Saturday, then could see straight snow showers on Sunday. Daytime highs should level out a little bit, but staying slightly unsettled through next week. The roller coaster that is Utah weather, it just continues.